will say for the past few months, I've been traveling. I just know, well, I'm learning how to budget correctly. This month though was it's February by the time I'm making this video. Woo! In the reds. In this video, I want to share my experience. And that did it, it went too far. I want to share my experience and what I've learned so far traveling solo, specifically to Japan. And hopefully by doing so, it entices y'all to get out there and explore the world. Not even just the world, but your own area. Go take a walk. That's what I might do after this video. Yeah, so listen up. Japan has always been that dream destination as it is to many others. I've waited and waited and waited, contemplated constantly over and over and over again, waiting for the right people, waiting for the right time, for the right amount of money, until one night I said, fudge it, take my card. When I tell you my heart skipped a beat. So that was it though. I booked a spontaneous trip to Japan and I only had 2 weeks or a week and a half to prepare. That's how spontaneous it was. I actually brought this camera because I wanted to document my whole time being there. I didn't really do a good job whatsoever. I think I was more on my phone taking pictures than my actual camera, but regardless, I wasn't even using my phone as much either. I was just like mesmerized by like everything, even the mundane things, the little things, the things that people find boring. I sat there in awe. Every single thing. It could be a plant outside and I just sit there like, oh, how beautiful. I saw it as an opportunity to seize every single moment with my own 2 eyes, every moment. And especially to be in the present without an object like a camera or a phone, separating that direct connection I was experiencing with everything around me. I arrived in Japan, in unknown territory, by myself with little to no Japanese. I find it difficult to say which place was my favorite. And it's always like this. If you know me, I can be a bit ambivalent. Let me not even say a bit. I'm very ambivalent. You know, I'm indecisive. I can never for the life of me pinpoint exactly what I want at that moment. So the trip went a little bit like this. Okay, hold on. Before I continue to talk, I'm not gonna lie, looking up is hurting my neck. So we're going to switch. I don't want to talk like this again, but that was actually cool. Give me a second. 2 nights in Tokyo, where I was a scared, lost black pup who just didn't want to go into any shop around the block at all. And I blame social media for this. I think I was just so scared. I didn't go into a store or a restaurant unless I saw other tourists there. So I was just walking for a good minute, just walking. The second day I spent with my cousin in Shibuya, where she had a whole photo shoot with I believe she was famous, a famous photographer. We even spent some time with people like the locals in the area. We got some food, got to talk some more and know more about each other. So it was great. I hope they remember me because we have each other on Instagram, and I plan to reach out when I go to Japan again. So hopefully we can set something up. The next was Osaka, where I spent my time exploring Osaka Castle, which was a spectacle in its own. It was honestly beautiful. I was walking around for a long period of time. I even saw a wedding going on in that area. So that was a pretty cool sight at that time too. And I was even able to live my dream in Universal Studios from 7:30 a.m. all the way to 7:30 p.m. The only reason why I did leave is because it started to rain. I probably would have been there much longer till closing. But hey, things happen. God was telling me to leave at that point, so I left. One night in Nara to talk to some deer and unknowingly walk up or hike up a mountain. I was walking through the neighborhood. I saw a vast, beautiful piece of grass, so much land. If I lived in Japan, if I lived in that area, whenever I'm frustrated or I'm going through it and I just need to sit down and relax and catch my breath and just self-reflect on everything that's going on with my life, I would go there, sit down, and just feel the wind brush across my cheek and breathe. I can't do that here. I mean, I can, but it's ugly. It's ugly. That was followed by 2 nights in Kyoto. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all know where the Torii gates are, right? The Shinto shrine. I found out the higher you go, the more they make you spend for water bottles. And you know what's crazy? I think a heat stroke was coming about. I had water that time too, but I guess I didn't have enough. By the time I got to the middle, the halfway point, I don't know what happened, but my body gave out on me. I almost collapsed. I was gonna keep going down, but I felt my leg. You can't even see what I'm doing. I sat down for a bit longer. I said, okay, you know what? Let me wait 10 minutes and maybe I'll feel better. No, it just kept getting worse and worse. So I said, you know what? God is telling me to do something and he's telling me to rest. So I'm gonna listen to him and rest. I went to sleep on a bench for 3 hours. And I was like, yo, that was some good sleep. Mind you, it was a beautiful sight going up there. You definitely want to have a love for hiking and you just want to love the Japanese culture in general. I enjoyed every single minute of it. There's a lot of sights there as well. So I even saw a crow that was just sitting there looking at us. And I thought it was Itachi for a brief second, but nevertheless, good experience. Another thing about Kyoto, the bamboo forest. We're never gonna talk about the bamboo forest. What's within the bamboo forest? There's a temple and there's a garden. The garden will leave you speechless. The garden will leave you on your knees, unable to comprehend what you are viewing. To think that people woke up in the morning to see that view, I would never be upset. I don't even care what happened in my life. It could be a whole bunch of people about to rob my crib. I am looking at that view. Go ahead and rob me, bro. Go ahead and rob me. We're approaching the end of the trip. So now we got 2 nights in Kanazawa. Kanazawa was a time of self-reflection. I went to a museum called Suzuki Museum. I spent about 2 hours there just sitting there and I dang near. I'm not gonna tell you I cried, but I was close to crying. I don't know what brought that upon me. It was a beautiful place though. It was a nice museum to check out and there was like a little reading area that you can sit down and grab a book for free and just, give it a read for a few minutes or so. And then I also went to the tea house district, I believe, right? Yeah, the tea house district, which was also nice. And the samurai district where I got to visit or I got to walk inside an actual samurai home. Here we are in Takayama, the last part of the trip where I was exhausted. I didn't do a single thing but ride around the neighborhood on a bike and meet 2 Germans, 2 people from Germany, a husband and a wife, in the middle of the night. I think it was at 1 a.m. at a bar. I had some ramen, they had some ramen, I had some beer, they had some beer. The wife approached me, asked where I was from. I said, New York. And yeah, the guy got me more beer. He said, yo, another beer for my man over here. I said, yeah, we're gonna be here all night. That was one of the best moments during the trip. Just meeting another tourist and interacting with them. Learning more about them and why they're in Japan or why they're traveling. It's cool. And then the end of the trip. Last 2 nights in Tokyo where I went to Akihabara and explored more of Shibuya and Shinjuku. And I stayed in the area of Asakusa more often as well. So that was it. On my way back home, I almost shed a tear. That was an adventure that I will never forget. And it opened my eyes to the importance of traveling, especially by yourself, especially solo. That trip was needed for a refresher, relaxation, and self-exploration. During that whole time, I didn't have to worry about what others might have to say about the trip, regarding the trip, whether about activities that they wanted to do, places that they prefer to visit, or complaints about excessive walking. And Japan is all about walking. You will be walking. I don't want to hear nothing. You will be walking. Up them steps, down them steps, up that hill, down the hill, nonstop, the whole day. Anywho, I was free from the shackles of foolishness. I can't tell you the amount of times I initially planned to stay in a place for about 5 minutes and ended up being there for about 2 hours or so. I can't tell you. I cannot tell you the amount of time because you don't understand the extent of its beauty or its value until you're there. I was free to make mistakes with my schedule and I was free to be flexible with my schedule. That is a big thing traveling solo. I realized how composed and relaxed I was during the trip. I felt rejuvenated, like nothing could tear me down. It felt like I was floating, like all my problems disappeared and I had no worries, especially my bank account because listen, I was spending. Do not ask me for my budget. Do not ask Ayo. Just curious, what was your budget? How much money did you spend? I don't know. Even after the trip, I didn't calculate nothing. I just continued on with my life. I started budgeting for the next month. I came to an understanding of how much I can do for myself. I booked and planned the trip and maneuvered through Japan without any assistance from friends or family members. I enjoyed every single moment of my trip and didn't need anyone by my side to do so. I felt in full control. And then it hit me. That's something that I'm lacking back here at home. Zero control over my life, over what I do, over what I want to do. And it took a solo trip to help me realize it. It finally hit me. It hit me like a truck. The goal is to treat every day like it's your last. You should treat every day like you're on vacation. You're exploring everywhere while you're in Thailand, China, Japan, all these other countries, but yet at home you barely even know what's down your block. Come on. I mean, I'm talking to myself now, so take that trip. Take that time to go explore your neighborhood. Go work on that idea that's been on your mind for years. It's time to get started. For me too, because I'm lacking. I got back and I was exploring a bit, but I'm slacking even more. So I'm going to try my best this weekend to go somewhere I've never been within my own area. So that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and learned something from this. And yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace. Woo! Were y'all hearing the lawnmower outside? Because now I'm hearing it. I hope it's not in the video.